Welcome everybody to episode number 18.
That's going to be fucking embarrassing if it was 16 or 7. Nah, it's definitely 18.
No, it's definitely 18. We did last week 17.
Yeah, last week 17.
And I think 18 comes after 17.
Yeah, I think so. If I remember from primary school.
Yeah, for those of you watching on video, you probably noticed the lighting's a little different. We actually changed our recording time today, so it's a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Looks a little bit nicer. I don't know. Yeah, it does look a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is too. Yeah, and it's going to be sunny days, isn't it? It's spring now.
Oh, bro, tomorrow.
It's beautiful.
I know.
Tomorrow's like the first hot day.
I used to love Tim Bailey on Channel 10. Remember Tim Bailey? Or Vic LaRusso. G'day guys, it's Vic LaRusso from carcity.com.au. Chopper is absolute set. Otherwise heading down the M4. And that's up.
What does he do now?
Vic LaRusso.
Where's he gone?
Vic LaRusso only had to...
The Today FM Chopper.
I don't think it was today.
104.1.
From my memory, it was carcity.com.au Chopper.
Yeah. He moved to the radio.
The sponsors that we changed.
Bro, that's what I hate about the radio. You know, the radio is like, Sydney traffic. And you're just like, man, it's just fucking noise on the radio.
Bro, I listen to Spotify, so...
Yeah, same.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so I don't listen to the radio that much.
You know what? They're actually... I was out at... we should probably say that we're... Like, what are we doing today?
Hang on.
Let's just do that.
I'd really...
Should we do that?
Don't say it. You know when you jump in an Uber and then you're like, don't say it. Busy night, mate? I'm doing the same thing. Like, no, don't say it. Welcome.
Oh, here we go. I like it. That's a signature welcoming, I reckon.
No, I think like my insides twist.
It's like when you scored in the chalkboard back in the day.
Yeah. It's called pride, JP. Get over yourself.
Yeah,
so 2.5 minutes in and we haven't told anyone what we're doing. So what are we doing today, Shawnee?
Yeah, today we're going to just have a bit of a chat. Like we, it's a bit of a late one. It's Thursday tomorrow, so we're going to be dropping this obviously in the next wee while. But we're going to just be talking about what's going on right now in our lives.
Disclaimer. The reason we're doing that is because, like, believe it or not, this is not our full-time job.
Yeah.
I know it may seem like this is all we do, but we do work.
That's what most of the boys think.
Maddie works in tech now.
I work in tech. Hey. You used to work in tech?
Yeah, I used to.
Who did you start with?
Still do.
What was that place called?
We'll just talk about... So yeah, we're just gonna have a bit of a chit chat. There's just lots happening. I feel like we obviously had last week where we spoke about gifted and talented was the topic. And before that we had Regan on, but we haven't had like maybe just a general chit chat about what's going on for a little while.
Just catching up.
Yeah. There's a few things happening, which is pretty good. Obviously, you boys with starting your new careers. New careers, I guess.
Yeah,
well, definitely Maddie.
We started like a week after, right? Like we started basically the same time in these new jobs.
So how's it been going, Maddie?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Because you've just moved into an office, or you've seen your first office space.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So let's give us some context. What are you doing?
So I'm working in sales, entry level role in tech sales. Wanted to work in sales for a long time. Obviously, for those who may or may not know, had a long stint in hospitality. Ran the cafe, sold the cafe. Now fast forward 6 months after selling. Oh, probably a bit longer now. Fucking what month are we in? 9 months down after. Geez, you've gone quick. So started in the office yesterday, which is really good. So basically my role is to reach out to warm-ish leads, qualify them, pass them off to the account executive. Basically I'm selling a HR, IT, finance, cloud software. Probably doesn't sound of the most interesting, but I can assure you it's riveting stuff.
Contact me if you want.
It's riveting stuff.
So what are just for context, what are the AEs doing? So you're passing on those leads, and then what are the AEs?
And then so I book the demo. They basically say, "Yep, sweet, he's a good lead," and then they end up like showing him through what the product is,
processing,
and then and close the deal. But
so what's your ideal customer profile? Like who are the people who are the people that are ideal for Rippling? What you guys do?
Yeah, so anywhere from like small, medium to enterprise size businesses up to like 2,000 employees. Mm-hmm. Obviously give or take, a couple of hundred depending on if they're the right fit. Anyone who's looking to sort of streamline their HR processes and things of that nature. I can't believe I honestly work in tech. And actually the funniest thing was like being in a corporate environment. Like I was kind of dreading it a little bit yesterday.
Does it feel corporate to you?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because tech is like the least of that, which I'm thankful for. Yeah. But in saying that, like still going into an office and like, hey guys, these are your co-workers I'm so not politically correct and like and formal and I can step on some toes. Even my boss, like he's a champion. His name's Ron. Like I was just saying,
has he made any comments or anything?
Nah, like
are you holding your comment in at the moment?
Nah, like I'm kind of seeing how far I can push it.
Not sussing. I'm testing the boundaries.
Sussing out who's on your side.
Correct. So like if Ron gets to watch this, like I have nothing but good things to say. He's been like holding my hand through the whole process. But like yesterday, I was like, "How are you, Ronald?" And I was calling him Ronald McDonald. His name's Ron. He's my boss.
There you go.
I don't know. I thought you were going to say something way more like pushing the boundary than that.
Yeah, but like
that's
also
the first level.
Level one. And then like today we were on Zoom and like we're having a laugh. We're looking up through the potential leads I'm going to call, and it was like a black dude's name, and I was like, "That's man." And I think I didn't say it.
you say it?
I didn't say it. And then he's like, "Hey, Matty, what was that? What was that?" Like he's having a laugh because he's like,
that's
"Bro, he's
good.
like, look, I know how it is. Like, I was like 23, 24, like jumping into the office. He's like, bro, I wanted to make them jokes now. He's like, just be cool. Even yesterday, like in the office, like he's like totally like drops the F bomb here and there.
Yeah.
And then I think I dropped like the C bomb, like we're having a joke.
Yeah.
And then he like started laughing, but then he sent me a message on Slack. He's like, hey, bro, just like a couple Americans.
How funny.
He's a couple Americans in the office. Just be careful with the C one. I'm like, all good, Ron. You sick cunt.
He's just thinking, bro, this guy's just come out of hospital. He's
Nah,
dropping,
he gets it,
dropping
bro.
whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
Hey, bro.
I'm
isn't
sure
it-
you get that
isn't
from the
that
start
pretty-
anyway.
Isn't that pretty
Start
funny
off
though? Like whenever you go into, and for you guys listening, like whenever you go into like a new environment full stop, but I think a work environment it feels more potent. When you're going in there, you're kind of like sussing out.
Trying to figure out where you are.
Yeah, it's sussing out like
how you fit in and
who's like
yeah.
aligned with you in the terms of like values or how they think about things.
Yeah.
Or what are you laughing at?
Nothing. Sean just cracks me up going.
What do you do?
No.
Just speak up.
Oh, the
bro.
tongue thing.
Nothing.
Oh, no.
You know when like a frog drinks, they kind of just like,
Do you do that?
yeah. Continue.
I
your
don't
story.
know how a frog drinks, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google it.
You
After
know when
this.
they're like on the lily pad and they're like,
Oh, you mean when they're getting a fly?
yeah, when they're getting a fly.
Have you seen that video?
Which video?
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
The frog. What's the frog doing?
No, don't worry.
Bro, none of us know what page each of us
I
are
love
on
this,
right
but
now.
this is
It's the best.
absolute
No,
madness.
but no. So last year at Turf Games, we were out and I was doing this tongue thing.
Oh, bro, I saw a
And
video
have
of
you seen
that.
it? Yeah, I thought that's what he's talking about. Because I was like,
What
Oh,
that tongue
no.
do?
Oh, maybe
Don't worry
it must
about
be
it,
a
yeah.
thing. Anyway, what I was saying.
back to what you're talking about.
Yeah, like
going to a new
you
environment.
get into a new environment, whether
Yeah.
it be like a social group or at work or something, and you're just like sussing people out. You're like sussing out who's an ally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's an ally? Who's not? Who like thinks the same as you? Who like drops? You know, who's comfortable with letting.
You're really
loose.
trying to suss out if you can really just be your true self.
Exactly.
That's pretty
right.
much it.
Yes.
Like, can I just be like, if you're somebody that's a little bit.
Can
of
I
an-
just say, Bar? I think in corporate, it's like you go like 95%
Yeah.
or like 100%, and then you got to like, okay, that's my true self. Let me scale it back a bit because there's some things that I'll say here.
I'll go the other way. I'll go from low to high.
Yeah.
Not like coming
Yeah,
out
I did- no,
C-bombs,
that's
C-bombs,
right.
C-bombs, and then bring it back. I'll be like,
You know what's
Yeah.
funny
Correct.
about that,
That's
and
what I
like obviously, like look, when I remember when I worked at this company a few years ago. Fuck, what was their name? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll come back to me. When I started working at LinkedIn,
Ding, 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 ding.
it was like obviously like came out and I went pretty hard actually.
You came out of LinkedIn?
to start with.
I came out of closet LinkedIn. No, I was myself pretty much off the bat because they were like,
Yeah.
bring your whole self to work or whatever. And I went like pretty hard on like, letting go who I was. I'm very hyperactive, high energy, blah, blah, blah. And like, it was funny because I feel like doing well, that was also, that became a thing of like, energy, passion, whatever. But I also found what was interesting was that, when you kind of establish a base of like who you are, a lot of the time people, they won't, if you try and like adjust that or you try and like change a little bit about how you're perceived or whatever, like let's just say for me, it was all about like, I'm naturally very high energy, very like naturally quite impulsive. And, I got that brand of being that guy. Whereas that's not necessarily ideal in all scenarios.
that's
And
not.
like, for like, let's just say, for example, hypothetically speaking, for like leadership and management, what have you. Obviously, I was really young, so no one was looking at me for that anyway, but I'm just using that as an example. Like, so it's funny how when you set that kind of impression and you set a foundation for who you are and what your character is, it's sometimes very hard to draw back from that.
Like people see you as that already.
And because some people, they don't necessarily want to let go of it either.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're so like,
Especially
no,
if it-
yeah.
I feel
Go
like it's
on.
a balancing act, but of being your authentic self and not compromising, but also just being like, all right, I'm turning it on here. Like this is, I'm corporate Matty, and I can like flip that switch. And I think before there was like, I want to just be me, and it's like, no, bro, just like don't be a dickhead. Like still like be yourself. That's cool, man. You don't need to compromise on like your values and things you love and like your communication style. But at the same time, like reel it in a bit.
But it's when the time is right though. Like when you're sort of just with your co-workers and just having a laugh and having a play, but when it's time to get to work and so on and so forth, okay, you might be seeing a potential customer or X, Y, and Z, then you might rein it in. But I think it's also like being able to build rapport with people so then you can be that person that you want to be. Like whoever.
That's true.
Like you sort of have those ink spots with everybody and you try to figure out, okay, well, like you were saying before, like what pushes their buttons, what doesn't, and that just comes back to building rapport with them. Because once you build rapport with them and they trust you and they like you, you can almost do whatever you want. Because on the back of that, if you're having a bit of banter, you're like, oh, they know you're sort of joking or whatever it may be. Like at where I'm at now, where I work now, I give shit to everybody. Like, and that wasn't the case when I first started, but now I like yell at everybody. Are you even working? Like, you know, like,
shut the fuck up.
Are you even working?
Yeah. So I stand on the top of the shelf and I'm like, see someone with their hands in the pockets. I'm like, oh, your hand's cold. Like, you're working or what? Like, you know, that sort of stuff like that.
Are you taking the piss or are you being dead serious?
I'm taking the piss. Like 95% of what I do at work, I'm taking the piss. Yeah, I say it like that, but I'm taking the piss, right? But they know that. They know that.
Do they know?
Yeah, they know.
Let's get a call. Let's get them on the line.
But you know what's funny?
Hey, you got time for leaning, got time for cleaning. Hey, clean it up, dickhead. Come on, mate. Get back to work.
But you know what's funny? Like, there's this guy that I work with. Like, his name's Alan, and he swears all the time. Or every second word, fuck, or the C word. And yeah, I don't swear that often, unless I'm like watching footy or whatever, maybe.
Are you the same guy that posted the Instagram video of like, come on, Sean?
Yeah, well, that was a passion.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Right?
You're right.
So he swears all the time, but then watching him swear and tell all these stories and all that sort of stuff like that, I started picking it up. So I'm walking through work like, fucking hell, like fucking bitch, fucking cunt.
Oh my God, that's
100%. Again, when I come out of that environment, I'm back to normal. But then going in there, when you're sort of in that environment, you can sort of tend to link up with what other people act. And I'm throwing F-bombs, and I actually quite like it.
I just want to deposit that for a future episode. Environments. I like that one. Future episode. Environments.
Yeah.
Your product or your environment, or do you change the environment you go into?
Yeah. So the whole nature nurture thing too, right?
Yeah, that's actually it.
So obviously, Shawnee, a lot happening with you. Obviously, next, over the next kind of 4 to 6 weeks or so, big stuff.
I spoke to Oliver yesterday. Actually, he called me and he said potentially starting in 2 weeks. I'm just doing a bit of work in 2 weeks and then full time. We'll be coming up in the next 4 weeks, and then the gym will be opening up in November.
Yeah, nice.
It's coming pretty close.
So you guys will start doing pre-sale or something in a couple of weeks. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So they got the building certificate, so that's cool. Now they're just doing the fit out and everything like that. So yeah, it's all ready to go. I'll be going to Queensland as well for some training at World Gym.
World Gym, yeah. Because the World Gym is it's Granville, right?
Granville, yeah. Yeah, so get all their systems and all that sort of stuff like that. So yeah, it's coming pretty close.
When's Western Games coming up?
That's at the end of October. I think it is. Yeah, end of October.
So what's your training looking like at the moment? You're kind of just doing a mixed bag of things, or obviously still focused on the marathon coming up?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've been running a marathon every week for the last friggin' 7 weeks, man. But the big one coming up, I mean, like the finishing line.
Well, the last one I'm doing with Joey. So I'll be running it with him. So I've got 2 more to go. So obviously this weekend, which will be good, and then the last one's the weekend after. So just with regards to training, I'm just trying to do as much as I can within the next 2 weeks, and then once the last run finishes, then I'll just be Western Games, because they're releasing the workouts now. So we're gonna start doing that. That's good.
I love the music you listen to, man. Like, it just pumps you up. Sometimes, but like when you got no music going, like, do you on your marathons? Are you like, there's no music?
I don't listen to music.
You don't listen to see, bro. That's ultimate head noise, bro. Far out, bro. Like, that's hard, man. I hate running with no music, but I kind of do like it as well.
I was honestly the same. So I think I've told you this before. When I was doing my short runs, I had my headphones on, and then I listened to a podcast where I think it was on Joe Rogan, where Goggins was on there, and he was talking about listening to music, and he's like, if you listen to music, you're cheating, whatever. Yeah. And I was like, fuck off, David Goggins. What are you talking about? Yeah. Then I had to start doing these longer runs. So I went and bought the short shorts.
Yes.
Like, be before you become, get new shoes, etc. And I couldn't take my phone with me because the pockets were small. Too small. Be for your key. The first time I did the run without the music, I was like, bro, I'm never listening to music again. Bro, that was fucking hectic.
Oh, mad.
Bro, I love it, bro. Like,
I feel like you get into a rhythm with your breath and stuff.
Yeah, your breath helps a lot.
Yeah, bro, and it's just that experience of just listening to, I don't know if you walk running on the beach, listening to the waves, you're hearing the birds and all that sort of stuff like that. And yeah, you have that head noise and stuff, but bro, it's mad.
And sometimes it can be a distraction as well. Like, you think, oh, what's the next song that's coming up, or like whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you're hanging for that next thing to get you through. Whereas when you just got no music, it's just you and yourself.
I don't run much, but when I haven't run with music because the few times I've done like 7K or like when we did that. With somebody, I was with somebody, but even before that, I'd never run with music. So I think of someone I don't know if it was you that told me that was like, no, don't do it with music, because I was thinking about, what's the playlist going to be? What am I going to play? But then I thought, what happens if I get a shit song? Does that mean I'm going to slow down, be less G'd up?
But it can also like upset your rhythm as well. So you have one song that's really good for your breathing, and the next song's a little bit different. So it might upset your breathing. But yeah, like that's the same thing I said to Shauna and Maddie when they did their half. When they were training, I said to them, "Oh, don't use music," and they loved it too.
Yeah.
And when they did that 7K around the bay, but yeah, like you get a lot of time to think. Obviously, like the longest run I've done in the last 7 weeks is 5.5 hours.
Yeah,
and bro, it's mad. Like it's hectic.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. Like I was thinking like how Sean does his training and like obviously we're in the business now of making content and like creating content for our thing. And like we're in the business of that. And like sometimes like I like to think I'm a creative person, whether it was like through the form of like media production or like, I guess not really my career now, sales, I wouldn't say creative. I think creative in terms of how you would speak to people and like your pitch and tone and things like that. There's elements of creativity, but nonetheless, I've always like even fitting out the cafe, there was like,
you actually something from 0 to 1.
Yeah. We've talked about that before, but like something I would love to do is like, I wanted to do it on the weekend. We did the like hardest workout on Saturday, but create a video for like the 5 a.m. during that challenge that we're doing. Which is like, I don't know, just some sort of like pump up type.
Transformation.
Yeah, some transformation, some like, because like, you know, when you just see like you almost see your life as like a movie trailer.
Yeah, and I think you have that even more so. Like I feel like I get that, but I think you would have that because you do look through the lens. Like you were doing the media stuff.
Looking through the lens. Nah, totally.
Yeah. And that's to tell everybody what you're talking about. We've got this 5 a.m. Hustlers Challenge that we've got for the next 6 weeks. So that's what we're doing. Yeah,
Sean's a fucking madman. Can you give us explain like in a nutshell, what is this challenge? Why are we doing it? What's it called actually?
Yeah, so it's the 5 a.m. Hustlers Saving Private Ryan Challenge.
Saving Private Ryan. Who's Private Ryan?
So for those of you who haven't seen the movie Saving Private Ryan, have you boys seen it?
No. I actually haven't watched it. I know that I watched the trailer since you posted it.
Yeah, bro. It's an older movie. It's got Tom Hanks in it. It's about saving Private Ryan. So saving this soldier, I think it's World War II, whose 2 brothers have been killed in the war. So the movie starts out where the mum gets a visit from the officers saying that their son's died, and again another one, and the government says, okay, we're going to go save this guy from the war. So there's a group of men that have to go and save him. Tom Hanks is the leader, and they go through, and it's all about how they go and save this guy. But the whole premise of the 5 a.m. Hustlers, the challenge is just, it started last year. We did one last year, and it was just all about getting everybody to turn up. That was really what it was.
Yeah.
I remember when I did a workout with Shep on a Saturday morning, and I had something on that day, and then he added me to the chat, and then Jesse was saying in the chat, I was like, got a good little chat going on here. Jesse was saying, hey boys, we've got to start turning up, we've got to start coming to these sessions, etc. And then I was actually in the first aid course. I wrote up this challenge in the first aid course, and I just messaged the boys, hey boys, thanks for letting me in. I've just got an idea for what we can do, maybe increase the amount of times that everybody comes. How about this challenge? And I posted it, and that's how it started.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was last year. And
they were all on board straight away?
Yeah. They're like, hectic, let's do it. And then this year, obviously, we've got a lot more boys in the group chat. It's our 5 a.m. group, and it's all about accountability. But so now we've got this added a couple more weeks onto it. So now it's 6-week challenge, and it's all about turning up on time. Obviously, trying to get some goals and
on time.
Sorry,
on time.
I was meant to say.
You mean
turning up?
Don't you dare say turning up on time.
Call it the 5:25 fucking hustlers. JP's got a very bad knack for not being punctual.
You're really self-aware. That's actually one thing I've noticed about you. You're one of those self-aware guys.
Episode 19, self-awareness with Maddie Morgan.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be present on that episode.
Yeah. So that's it. So we're in this challenge now, and $100 to buy in to the challenge, and then $20 if you miss a session. And then everybody's posting up their nutrition and training, so it's good.
We'll see. Had to see some accountability from the boys. Not you, bro. You were sick.
Bro,
different story.
Yeah, Maddie missed the first
3 days. I don't know if I'm coming in tomorrow. Depends on how I feel, man. Honestly, I'm
trying
to battle this thing. Oh, is it? Yeah. I'll be there.
Come on, let's go.
No, I'm joking. Nah, I'll let the boys, pick up their chest. My chest is. It's a bit big. But
you've been going pretty well, actually.
I'm feeling
over the last month, 2 months.
I had a little kickstart of the challenge. I knew the challenge was coming up. I did a challenge for the challenge, just so I wouldn't be left behind.
Pre-challenge.
But yeah, the abs, they're coming.
You would have liked today's session.
Would I have?
It was like mad.
I know. You know what, bro? I saw the complex, which was like
hectic.
The 369, the hang clean.
Yeah.
Bro, and I saw that, and I was just like,
That's your type of thing. You're really good at that.
I wish I was there. That's all right.
What do you snatch anyway? This is such boring fucking
conversation. 140.
No, that's good.
No, I'm joking. No. 100 kilo was all-time PR. But
wow,
that was 2021, June 21. But yeah, a little while since.
JP got a little PB this morning.
Did ya?
It was funny. I saw this video that was talking about how like it was on Instagram or something where this guy, they were doing a comparison like deadlift day, and there's like everyone's loading on plates and plates and plates, and they go like Olympic day, and people loading on like 10 kilos, like you throwing the weights down, but it's like. Boop. The bar
10 kilos, 2.5.
Anyway, so yeah, 65. I did 65 kilo snatch, which is
nice. It's
better,
good, bro.
best I've ever done. So happy with that.
Yeah.
Well, you're not naturally athletic, so like.
So well done, JP.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a quick clap.
at least I look athletic, you fat cunt.
At least I am athletic.
Shirts off, boys. Come on, shirts on.
Nah, that's good.
Yeah, but no, that was a good session actually.
It was a fucking
I
bad
would have.
session.
Yeah, no, it was good. I was a bit fatigued as well, but had a good crack, and
Yeah.
you guys should have done that 80, 100%.
Yeah, I know. We should anyway. So I blame Jesse
Next
for
week,
that.
next
He's not
week.
fucking listening anyway.
But you know what it is? I think the challenge, like, once you do sort of like set those, I guess maybe
Parameters.
the parameters, that's the word I was looking for. Thanks, Shawnee. Those parameters in place, then all of a sudden, like, life starts to improve beyond just the gym. And like, that's something that, like, you know, credit where credit is due to 180 is like you see members go in there as one person physically and come out emotionally and spiritually better. I find a lot of the members, and I think that's what, you know, like John and the founders, like, and a lot of the coaches there take a bit of pride in is that, you know, they come in there and like, what are the community culture change? Is the,
that's
the
it.
three
Yeah, it's
Cs?
better than yesterday.
Better than yesterday, all those things, and like I haven't been to that many gyms that have really like lived and breathed that stuff, and like it's not just the physical change that I want to see, but going there and seeing like how everyone, you know, wants to be better physically and eat better. It made me be like, fuck, I've got to get my shit together. So I think that's a big part
that
of
whole community vibe. It's important. Like,
It is.
when you're trying to make those changes.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think like when you're looking at like,
Oh, no, sorry, I was just looking at your grey hair.
Headphone on the right. Yeah.
but I think like when I was
I was
thinking,
looking at your no hair.
We just got to have an episode of just digs.
Just
The
digging.
digs, yeah.
Just like mean,
Roast.
like
No,
mean,
roast.
like mean
To each
tweets.
other.
Like
no,
mean-
a roast,
yeah,
roast.
the roast.
Yeah.
This is the roast,
Roast.
of Maddie Morgan.
Roast. You can't
You've
stop
seen
thinking
that,
about
bro. How
roast, can
funny
you,
is
you
mean-
fat cunt?
Mean.
Oh, mean
roast.
tweets. Yeah,
How
I
funny
love
is mean
Sunday
tweets?
roast.
I don't. I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
No, I was talking about roast, like gravy, peas.
Oh, you mean
the
like
actual
literally-
roast.
Like, oh, fuck, how good's the
Yeah,
Sunday
but if you
roast?
go to the east, there's a lot of pubs just because a lot of Irish and English out there.
East.
Yeah,
Eastern suburbs.
Eastern suburbs.
We're Arab. We're not allowed to go.
I need my passport.
You're forbidden.
You know, I know we were just talking about we were talking about content before, and obviously I mentioned this to you guys before, but I went out to obviously I'm at Riverside now, so we work with a lot of broadcast and production companies, and bro, like the quality of
LinkedIn.
yeah, anything to I'm back in the glory days, boys. But yeah, I went to the Listener podcast studios.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm
how
going to
was
show you
that?
guys some. I got some videos and footage and stuff. It was sick, bro. They've got these. They reckon the whole project cost them like I don't know, a couple of million.
Yeah.
All these studios they set up, cameras, 4K cameras.
Wow.
They've got like the mics they're using are just unbelievable, like crystal clear. There's nothing in the background. You can't hear any like static, anything. It's just crystal clear. Like we had the mics on, we're having a chat, and they dialed into Riverside. Oh, that seemed to work.
Yeah. There you
What
go.
the hell was that?
Yeah.
I just turned on the other mics.
Oh.
Oh, we're like listener.
Wow.
Oh, no,
yeah,
actually
it does.
ours are better now.
It gets
I wonder
rid
if
of
that,
the other.
Yeah.
but I wonder if that makes a difference to the
See?
actual
Hello,
recording.
Hello. But so now what happens when we want to talk? Is there any difference now?
Anyway,
Yeah.
so one
No?
thing
Huh?
Kristen did mention
I
is
don't know,
that
we can
we
say.
tend to get sidetracked a lot.
Yeah.
She's like, I love the podcast. It was good, but
We get
You guys-
sidetracked.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, we don't
Who gets
necessarily.
I've got the attention span
Anyway,
of goldfish.
Yeah, yeah.
You do,
But,
yeah.
but
What would you say?
So I'm not that good either. So you know. So bro, they've got these like
Yeah.
this setup. They've got these screens. It's like, and then they
Professional.
dialed into Riverside from the outside, and they were saying how they use it to dial in remote guests and stuff. I went to where like Dave Husey and Emma like
Oh.
record their their breakfast show or the other
Nice.
show, whatever it is. I don't even know what show it is. That's bad.
So you know where we'll be going, team.
And Triple M, like the Rush Hour with Wendell Saylor.
Oh,
You
yeah.
must
Wendell
have been thinking about like the boys while you were out there.
As
Like
in you guys,
as us.
yeah, of course. I'd be like, bro, you guys, they would love this, just because it was like they're even talking about stuff I didn't understand. I had the sound, I had the engineers there.
Yeah.
Talking about stuff. I'm like, listen, I don't know anything about this, but the way they were talking about it, the way they've got the mixers set up,
Inspiring stuff.
It's just cool because like the thing is
What
when we consume that type of content, we don't realize how much production value goes into it.
Like, correct.
So
what about the production? What about what we do? No one knows that we like.
That's what I'm saying.
It's small, but like
it's small. But even this,
even
like,
doing all this,
people were reacting to your story about that, saying like, "Wow, that's so sick," because they didn't even like didn't even know that. Oh, like wow, look, this looks like high tech.
How does it work?
Well, I think like for us, like, I mean, we've got we've got a MacBook, all right. We've got an iPhone,
a pod track,
and we've got 3 mics. Like that,
I think that a lot. By the way, I started being going for 7 minutes. Did you see when I went over there with my hand?
I was like, what is he doing?
Doesn't matter though. We're still going to have stuff to clip out and stuff.
You son of a bitch. so there's only been video for the last 7 minutes?
8 minutes, yeah.
You shouldn't have pointed that out to me. I'm not going to be able to stop looking at Sean's quads.
So man, it was honestly sick, and like they
where was it? Where were they?
They're actually in Goulburn Street in the city.
Oh right.
Near my office. I have an office.
So like they've got the way they've got to set up the office. They've got the 1041, then directly underneath it on the next floor they've got Triple M. Then the podcast studios are down there by that. But it was funny how they were talking about how obviously the transition or everyone moving away from like watched content or radio content on the radio. Everyone's moving like streaming is where it's at. So streaming, whether it be obviously video, like same with the broadcasters, like. Channel 10, obviously now, they know that there's everything streaming, so they've gone and had their own streaming app. Channel 9 did. Yeah. So Stan, Channel 9 owns Stan.
Oh,
did you know that? Yeah. They're actually one of the first. Pretty sure they were one of the first streaming platforms in Asia Pacific.
Stan was.
Yeah, Stan, because I remember years ago, I remember seeing an ad for like Channel 9 is starting this project called Stan. I'm talking about like 8, 9, 10 years ago. So they were talking about how. There's this whole thing about everyone's moving towards stream, but they haven't quite worked out. Not these guys specifically saying that, but another customer or prospective customer was saying like they haven't worked out exactly how do they monetize. Like they're getting the audience, they're getting the listeners, but like the monetization is just not as simple.
Yeah,
like
well, it makes sense because they have all like in the sports division within Stan. It's all the New Zealand and Australian sports, like everything like that. And I wondered, I was like, what do they have just this that's specific to that? Because I didn't know that Stan was like that.
Yeah.
So, that's cool.
But see, like now that like if we hadn't begun like the podcast and then started with smaller equipment, and then now we've got your streaming service we're using Riverside, and these slow little incremental upgrades over time,
and then one day we'll rock up, we'll have a camera that we can adjust the aperture for and everything.
So they have cameras. That's
they've got 4K cameras. 4K cameras, then they hook up one of the cameras to Riverside so they can dial in a remote guest who's also hooked up to a 4K camera externally.
That's sick.
Wow. What we're going to be able to do at some point is hook our mics up to the laptop so that we get individual like tracks for your audio, my audio, Sean's audio. So if we do want to cut it, play around with it, what have you. But also so it's directly
on the
aligned to that, because right now we have to go and align the audio of this.
Yeah, through the USB, take it to the laptop.
Yeah. But isn't it incredible that like the only thing stopping us from getting to the point where we're at now to the point where that production value's gone out the arse, we've got like, way more episodes under our belt and, more interesting things to speak about, more guests, is just doing it. You know what I mean? It's just like simply doing it each week.
That's right. Yeah, just building on it. But does listener have a
what?
Yeah, well, that's getting the time. We didn't know the time and stuff like that. But does listener have a division of, what do you call it? Diversity division? Are they looking for 3 brown boys? That
it's funny. I actually said one of the things I said is I'm like, who decides who gets a podcast? They started laughing. They're like, good question. So one thing I've noticed is, and I was speaking to another podcast production company the other day who were interested in buying Riverside, and they were saying how
buying Riverside.
Like buying like
license. Right.
Using the product. Sorry. Right. Yeah, buying like a enterprise subscription or something.
Yes.
They were saying, or this guy was saying that a lot of it has to do with, of course, like typically it's people that already have a profile of some sort, a following. It doesn't have to be like massive, but it has to be something that they can see. They go, oh great, we can build on this. For example, one of these podcast production agencies they don't charge anything. They just only take people on board and they do a revenue split. So they'll say if they think you've got legs or you've got the following, what have you, they'll go, you know what, we'll produce it. We'll produce it. We'll promote it. We'll cover the costs and everything, and we'll like pump up its wheels hard. And if like any money that comes in, this is the split that we get. Etc.
Yeah, cool, man.
Another guy I was speaking to who has his own podcast, NZ365 guy. Oh, he does like Microsoft. No, you don't. No one knows him. Well, sorry, people know him, but I'm saying he does like Microsoft Dynamics application services. He's been doing it for ages. He was saying
Sullivan.
No. What the fuck? I just threw out a name. He was saying how like he just has his costs covered by like a sponsor.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, did you just spill water?
No one can even say that on the camera.
It's just hard.
Bro, but that's good though. Like how you have this Riverside and you got so many connections now. So
yeah, bro,
it's potentially something down the track.
It's really cool because like, bro, I talk to at least 2 or 3 podcast production agencies every week.
Yeah.
So like I've already got heaps of tips around like hardware and devices and all that sort of stuff. And I might even just like I'm gonna hook up like a new camera for my computer. Instead of just 1080p, I'm going to get a 4K camera with the aperture change. It can move up and down. Nice. If I'm writing something. It can
even on Zoom then, would that pick up the camera quality difference as well?
So the difference with Zoom and most other recording software is that some of them claim to locally record, which basically means record to your device, then to the cloud, but they don't do so in high quality, meaning that if your internet's shonky, which most people have issues with internet at some point, as in during their day, let alone during their like lifetime, something just cuts out or it lags or whatever. Everyone's seen it. We've all been on Zoom calls before, and that's happened. So Zoom and those other recording tools tend to rely on internet connectivity, whereas what Riverside is doing is downloading the audio and video tracks to your device first, then uploading 1 second download, 1 second upload to the cloud, 1 second download. So right now, as you can see in Riverside, it says 84% uploading. Yeah. Meaning that 84% of our track is already
instantaneous.
uploaded. Awesome. It's very quick. Yeah. So that's why like people don't. That's why, for example, I went into the studio today and they all had Riverside up on the screen. And I went to one studio who was still using Zoom. And they said, oh yeah, these guys are still using Zoom because we're just trying to shift them over to Riverside. But the point is that they want all their people off Zoom and onto Riverside because the quality is just much better. And then the social media guy came and said, "Oh mate, I'm always on Riverside getting
social
all the
media.
clips."
That's what we need.
There we go.
There we go.
Anyway. This is cool, man. No, this is really inspiring. I love it.
But Riverside is specific to podcasting. Zoom isn't.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. So Riverside started in podcasting. People are using it for anything now. For like anything to
conference
do
calling
with
and like
anything to do with like if you're looking for studio grade audio and video from your device. Anything. Could be like people recording a client testimonial. I spoke to a guy who's doing like client testimonials. He wants to record like 6 hours of them. And he wants to use Riverside because he wants something really high quality. He can then send to his social media manager, can go in, cut, slice, dice, post it.
It's got wide application, but what they're marketing towards is primarily podcasting.
Not that's even the thing. Anymore. Well, because it's so synonymous with podcasting now that they've got such a strong brand in it. We're diversifying, or already diversified, but it's like making our way into like how can we go into marketing?
Sort of already cemented podcasting as
like it's already that's where the brand was built. Now it's about expanding use cases for content. Anyone that creates any sort of content.
Yeah, nice.
That's the way we're heading, eh?
Because you got an app though, eh? You guys got an app.
Well, the app is designed so you can join a call from your phone. For example, right now, if I really wanted to, I could record with my laptop and join with my phone and have another.
I'm even thinking about streamers, bro. Like, what about streamers nowadays? Like they literally get paid like Kai Cenat and like Aiden Ross and all these guys. Yeah, all these.
We're talking about gaming
streams.
Well,
yeah, but not even gamers. Some of them just stream. They just like
this one guy I've seen. I forgot his name. He just streams 24/7.
He just streams
just in front of his laptop.
You've seen him before. He's like a dark guy, bold. He's like really G'd up, energetic.
Me, I don't know. I don't stream.
You're not bold yet, cuz. You're not bold yet.
You got some hairs hanging on.
But hold on a second.
Hanging on for dear life.
Was your hair thicker before?
No.
Okay. That wasn't a diss.
Nah, I'm joking. Like before, nah, I'm not going to say.
He was just looking for a way to rip me.
I was going to say something, but I was like, it's not funny. It's just rude.
Wow. That was actually very self-aware.
It's called self-awareness.
Well done.
Yeah, no. Appreciate that. Do you remember who does that, bro? Remember Cat in the Hat?
No, that's Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura.
Nothing beats classic Jim Carrey films, bro. This pen is royal blue.
You know what's it's funny? I watched Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean. Yeah.
The other day, and man, it was bro. Don't watch it again. Disappointing.
Ruins it. Yeah.
It wasn't as funny as it used to be.
Yeah, it's like that. But
when I was a kid,
like
bro,
that,
I could just watch that
Bro, watch Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It's kind of lame.
I've never sat through a single Harry Potter. Anyone who watched through a
I
Harry
love
Potter?
how you do, but you know what your problem is? You carry that as like some badge of honor.
What's
well,
that?
it's like, I'm not a fucking nerd. Look at how I literally took the words out of your mouth.
Isn't it funny? Like, when you say things, like, what's another thing that you can say without saying it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you get what I mean? I think that's funny.
You know what's funny? It's like
I'm not a nerd. It's self-righteous.
I've never actually. I've only watched one Lord of the Rings film and I fell asleep through like halfway through, and I'm of that opinion with like Lord of the Rings.
Right.
But like obviously I can't do that because I like Harry Potter. Kristen is obsessed with Harry Potter. She knows like the fan theories.
Yeah.
You know, like the crazy fan theories that connected to like the prequel.
Like how they leave little nuggets in the film, shit like that.
She'll just watch it in her spare time. She's like cooking dinner. She'll just put Harry Potter on, a random one.
Oh wow.
And yeah,
fucking nerd.
Kristen's a big nerd, but she's my wife. I love her.
Yeah, you're like, shut the fuck
So
up,
fuck
mate.
off.
On that note.
Sorry, Kristen, if you're
Yeah,
watching
she's
that.
definitely listening. Like, she's pretty much the only person that listens every week.
No, I appreciate it, Kristen.
And Twilla.
Thanks.
Yeah, Alessandro.
And Alejandro.
And Maxi.
Pack your smoothie cups up so JP doesn't call me
Alessandro.
Huh? You're not welcome to my house again. I don't know what you just said.
All right.
No, because, Kristen, if you're watching this, JP keeps calling me saying I'm leaving rubbish, but it's actually you. So pick up your rubbish in your own house.
The Pitt Street smoothie.
And that, what were those snacks I ate the other day that she made?
Bro, listen, please don't get me started because you left blood on my sink.
Oh.
That was
so
not
if you want
me.
me to drag your name through the fucking mud,
when
I'll
was that?
drag it.
If you want more
Are you
blood,
actually saying that wasn't me?
If you
were
want more-
bleeding on my sink.
I'll put more blood on your sink. It'll be your chin through the table, all right? my brother?
Okay, give it a crack,
gee,
brother. We'll
here
see
we
what
go.
happens.
All right,
Alright, so
episode
that's been a
19 is
great-
going to
That
be
might
me
be the
versus
one
JP.
thing. That might be the one thing that brings you down to earth is me bashing the fuck out of
Let's
you one
just do
day.
like a nose-to-nose thing.
Cuz look how big your nose is. Don't fucking come near me.
All right. Thanks for listening to episode 18.
My zip will get annoyed.
We've had a great chat there about a whole lot of nothing. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Same place, same time.
See you, gang.
Thursday, 5 a.m. And we love you.
We love
See you,
you.
gang. Bye.
See you again.